It's morphin'
Morphin
time.
time.
All right, riders, welcome to back to another episode of The Passenger Seat. Um, I think this is probably no longer the early 2000s. We're going a little bit back in retro time now.
90s,
And I know
90s.
it's something that we talked about in one of our previous videos when we talked about 90s TV shows, but this time we want to dedicate a whole video to it because it's something that's important to our childhood. And we are talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Man.
Yes,
Whew, man. Yeah, so Power Rangers, 90s.
definitely 90s.
Worldwide phenomenon.
So we thought we'd just dabble a little bit into the facts, what that meant for us, and I guess a little bit of the story. I'll start out just some really quick bit facts about how it all started. So essentially, as many of you know who are Power Rangers fan or who don't know, there was an original series in Japan called Super Sentai, which was
Super Sentai.
essentially that the original Power Rangers. They were already being filmed, but with a Japanese cast. So essentially, there was a guy named Saban. So I don't know if you guys realize Saban Industries. He picked it up. They managed to bring it to Fox, and all they did was grab American actors and kept the original Japanese tape because then they didn't have to spend any money. They only spent money on the acting parts,
Yeah.
and it was ever since then Power Rangers was born, and it was basically to make toys. But the series really blew up.
hmm Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like superheroes? Because that's basically sort of what they are.
With giant
Um,
robots.
with giant robots. Yeah, so I think that's what sort of differed from the typical superhero genre was the fact of okay, so maybe they didn't have superpowers per se, um, but it made it super interesting because one, the robots, two, they all wore like similar suits but different colors,
Yes.
and I guess what also added to that was that every sort of Power Ranger had a different sort of theme to it. Mighty Morphin were the dinosaurs, and uh, we had Turbo, which were
Yeah,
the
Turbo, which
cars.
was the cars, and I think wasn't Zeo
Zeo,
based on space, like
yes.
stars and moon and stuff like that. I don't remember because they had a Power Rangers in space. It
Speaking of
wasn't
Zeo,
just
I think this is the perfect time to throw this in there.
all
Whoa.
right.
Yeah, Power Rangers Zeo comic signed. I'm gonna see if I can get that close enough to. Oh no, wrong side. It's not focusing. Yeah, it's signed by Jason David Frank.
It's more nice.
For those of you who don't know, Jason David Frank he's played a lot of
I was gonna
Rangers.
say he's basically the most infamous Ranger,
Yes, probably one of the most powerful too.
popular.
Um, yeah, yeah, he used to play the what was it originally? What,
The green.
green and then white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Mighty Morphin. Yeah. Speaking, while we're on the topic of Jason David Frank, he actually, what's it called? He's an MMA fighter, or he's an ex MMA fighter.
Ex MMA fighter. It's true.
Yeah, and
He
most. Oh, go
no,
ahead.
you were gonna say what I was gonna say. You were gonna say most of them were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them had background in like, I guess martial arts of some sort.
Yes. So I guess like in the TV series, if you guys haven't seen it or even heard of it, but that would be really amazing if you haven't heard of it. I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's about five teenagers who hang out in high school, and all of a sudden they granted these I don't know how to say it, like power from a space alien or something. I don't know what the
Well,
Zordon is, but
Zordon is a sage, and the space alien or thing that you're talking about is essentially what Rita Repulsa is.
Yes. So essentially, they're granted these abilities to morph into their armors, which is basically like their uniform. Like we explained before, they all have different uniform, different colors, with different helmets. And the original were red, which was dang, I'm forgetting his name. I know the pink was Kimberly, the black was it's not Adam,
Uh, I'm
Zach. It was Zach.
Zach, yeah,
The yellow was Trini, and the blue was
Billy.
the blue was dang, I
Was it
almost forget
Billy?
his name. Billy, thank you.
Yeah, and the red was Jason, wasn't it?
Jason. Yes.
Yeah.
So those were the original Rangers. And later on in the series, in the beginning of the series they have a villain named Rita Repulsa, who lives on the moon, who usually tries to take over Earth by sending different monsters down. Well, there is a storyline where she gives her power, where she was the original Green Ranger, to another human boy, which his name was Tommy, and made him evil. So the Green Ranger started out evil, and he had the Dragon Zord. He was so cool. He
Dragons.
had the little flute going on, you know.
Yeah. It was like a dagger and a flute.
Yeah, but obviously he became one of the good guys and joined the team as the Green Ranger, and Tommy became basically the most popular Ranger of all time. Later on, gave it up and gave up the evil powers and became the White Ranger with the White Tiger.
White tiger. Yeah. So yeah, so today obviously we're focusing solely on Mighty Morphin. There are, like I said, a lot of different Power Rangers from I don't know if you'd say different universes. I don't really like. Don't get me wrong. I'm just speaking off of memory here. I have this is without looking up any facts or anything. This is just stuff that I know on a general basis.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, the quote unquote Power Rangers multiverse. I think it might be in the same universe. But yeah, it's extensive. It has a lot and lots and lots of Power Rangers, which I think in one of the more recent Power Rangers shows, they all came together, or I think there was a Power Rangers show where they had the ability to tap into like older iterations of Power Rangers.
I think it was that. I think it's generations. I'm not sure if it's alternate universes. Maybe some of them are, but there are later episodes, where the old actors appear again, and the other Power Rangers look at them and be like, "Oh my God, it's Tommy! Like
It's Tommy.
he's a legend." You know what I mean? Like it's like a generational thing,
Yeah, it's
I believe.
constantly Tommy though.
Yeah, the Red Ranger makes an appearance, and I think the Pink Ranger also, but not many of them do.
Ah, well, speaking of fun facts, didn't you meet the actress who played the Pink Ranger in person?
I did. I said that she played an amazing part of my childhood, and she said, thank you very much," and walked away. She was in a hurry, so
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to bug her. But
Still, that's
childhood crush right there.
wow. Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
no, man.
who didn't like
I
the Pink Ranger?
right. So big influence Power Rangers for me. I was definitely introduced to Power Rangers and all that sort of genre by my brother Gio. And
Oh, this story.
yeah, yeah, we keep going back to it. He used to have a lot of the Megazord figures and stuff, and he used to keep them in boxes as collectibles. And I tossed a couple of them in the pool. And you remember when we were at Mile High Comics that they had all the figures there, and they're pretty expensive, man.
Yeah, now, 'cause the '90s one, they go for really high.
I
Even
know,
the Power
man.
Rangers themselves.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. But yeah, growing up with her, I love the Power Rangers growing up, and I think my favorite obviously has to be Tommy. Out of all of them, just his well, green is my favorite color, so obviously rocking the green works. Dragon Zord, that's dope. And I don't know, he's just the leader, the best one out of all of them, you know.
No, I get that. When I was young, obviously, I think this happens to almost every kid in the '90s. Tommy always ends up being your favorite every once in a while. But as I grew older, I began to really like the Red Ranger and a lot of the iterations of the Red Ranger too. I actually liked the leader, and I don't know. I just always thought Jason was really cool, and I always liked the whole look of his helmet with the what's it called, T
The
Rex
teeth. The teeth.
like teeth on the, like, it was just so cool. So obviously, like, I liked him, but I remember when I was young, my mom would always tell me I'd be in front of the TV as a little kid doing the moves of the Power Rangers. And one Halloween, I was given the White Ranger costume, and I would keep it all year round and just go in front of the TV and morph.
Nice.
So it played a really big influence on my childhood, because after that, when my parents saw that, they asked me if I wanted to be in Taekwondo, and I said yes. And it was all influenced from the Power Rangers, and I just stuck with me. It's something that, like, really was part of my childhood.
Yeah. I well, I don't know how many kids go through martial arts classes. I think self defense is very important. I was in karate for a very short amount of time as a kid. I don't think I even got past like white belt. So yeah, it was a very short amount of time. But yeah, and continuing on with the Power Rangers, they had, or at least Mighty Morphin. How many movies did they had? Was it just the one, or did they have two?
they they only have one. Actually, speaking of which, from the movies, Power Rangers became so popular that they garnered so many movies from all the iterations. But Mighty Morphin had two, which one was, because I forgot about the other one. First one, obviously, Ooze. You know,
Ooze, Ivan
who doesn't
Ooze.
remember Ivan Ooze? Whenever we were kids, and they
Were
turned
you?
to the ninjas.
Yeah. Were you ever curious about eating the goop?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
parents, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
Yeah, the goop.
Yeah, yeah, and Ivan Ooze was such a character too. He was funny, and he beat Lord Zed too without no problem.
Yeah.
But he was so tough that he basically destroyed their Zords, destroyed their powers. They were powerless. Destroyed Zordon. I remember that whole thing. He was like, he came in and destroyed everything. So they had to
Yeah.
go and meet that sexy woman in the woods.
Oh my God! Yes, that Amazoness trunk of just lady.
Yeah, so they got the ninja powers with the ninja animals, and, well, not ninja animals, but like different animals and different Zords too.
And then what was it? Who was it? Billy or Zach? The one who got the frog? It was Zach, right?
That was actually Adam. By this time, it was Adam. It wasn't
Oh,
Zach
right, right.
anymore.
You're
Because
right. So Adam definitely, yeah. You remember the whole Adam shtick where he got the frog, and it's like, oh, the prince and the frog, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, Geek back. He's Ichigo from Bleach.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he is.
Wow. Yeah, goes to show.
And then the second movie was not too long ago, 2017. They tried to reboot the franchise of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with a live-action film, starring a whole new cast, like the actor from Stranger Things, which I think his name was Billy, but he was playing Jason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, you know what? And I feel like yeah, I feel like the reboot was pretty good. I'm kind of pissed that they haven't brought out the next one after that
I actually
cliffhanger with
agree.
yeah, that cliffhanger that they left that Tommy was supposed to come in.
Tommy. Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you though. I thought the movie was great.
yeah, it's weird that it hasn't come back up again. Nothing's really surfaced on that.
Oh, but I did like the way they look, the way the story was portrayed. It was very breakfast stylish, but it was still really good. The characters matched very well, and they even decided to change the ethnicities, and every ranger was a different ethnicity. So I liked that part too. It wasn't
Yeah,
just a bunch of Caucasian kids.
yeah, yeah. The inclusion's really important, so it's really cool to see that. But yeah, I guess what else can we say? Power
What
Rangers.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, as you could tell, as you showed it, you saw the comic book. It also garnered many comic books, and the just Boom Studios comics is still continuing with a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series till this day.
Yes, and there's actually a couple of weird I guess collaborations of sorts, because I know that there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle slash Power Ranger uh,
I
comic
want those
out there.
figures so bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you showed me. Dude, they do look dope though.
Yes, it's very cool. And there's a collaboration between them where the Ninja Turtles change and they become the Power Rangers, and
Yeah,
they put on the suits and it just looks so cool. But yeah, just they Power Rangers became so popular. They touched upon everything you can think of. They had their hands on. You know, birthday parties, all that stuff. It's not done. It's still famous.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's a sort of a money making cow at this point. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, if it does what it's supposed to do effectively, so I have to give it props on that.
it is what it is. I'll never forget my original though. That's mine.
Uh,
Mighty Morphin Power.
right? Oh man. Well, writers, we hope that you enjoyed our topic today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video. Tell us who your favorite ranger was, or
Oh, that's a
what
good question. Or your favorite iteration?
or your favorite iteration. That's what I was gonna go for too. Let us know, or maybe even your favorite Megazord.
Ooh, that's a good one too. I mean, the Dragon's Lord alone.
I know
Oh man.
the Dragonzord was pretty dope, and when they all came together, it was insane. Um, but yeah. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this ride with us today, and hopefully you'll join us next time here in
The
the
passenger
passenger
seats.
seat.
One, two, three. It's
Morphing
morphin' time.
time. Oh, it's morphing time.
Yeah,
I,
that's how
th-
you
I thought
say
you
it.
I thought you were just going with morphing time. Okay, let's try that one more time.
Okay, you ready? Ready?
Yeah.
One.
Wait, wait. Okay. Okay.
Come on. Reach your inner kid and let